And we are live. Apologies for the delay. I was having some issues with the phone lines. Still trying to kind of navigate through some of the technology issues. But again, sorry. Those of you that are trying to call in, I'm still trying to figure out how the conferencing call thing works a little bit. So sorry for that. I had some technical difficulties, but I'm going to get started. Again, sorry for the delay. I'm North Royalton Ward 3 City Councilman Dan Langshaw, and today is March 23rd, 2020, and this is the North Royalton Ward 3 Tele / Facebook Live Town Hall regarding COVID-19 / the State of Ohio stay-at-home order that's been issued. So I just wanted to pop on here. I know some residents are wondering some questions, so start dropping those questions in the comment portion of the video, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Big thing I just want to stress is, make sure everyone's doing okay. Obviously things are going to get a lot more serious. The number of folks that, are have this, it's going to keep growing. That community spread, we're going to really start seeing that. And today, with the governor's numbers, hi Brooke, numbers are there's 442 confirmed cases in the state of Ohio, 46 counties reporting cases, 104 hospitalizations, and unfortunately 6 deaths in the state. An important thing to note for those of us here in Cuyahoga County, the number has jumped big time. It's 149 cases. And trust you, I don't know how many or if they have any cases at Parma Hospital. I know Southwest General, they have the cases already. So it's here. That's for sure, without a doubt. It's here. It's in our area. So it's really, really important to literally stay at home. We have no choice now, given the governor's order from Sunday. Biggest thing I just want to stress is the governor's order. Those of you, obviously, a lot of information coming out through various sources, but again, the best top 4 sources of information are the CDC's website, State of Ohio's website, State of North Royalton's website / Facebook page, and then the state's hotline for the coronavirus. But again, I just want to stress to residents, whether you live in Ward 3 or anywhere here in North Royalton, there is officially a stay-at-home order. So I just got to read it real quick, or at least a little bit of a summary. So yesterday, Sunday, March 22nd, under the direction of Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, Ohio Department of Health Director Amy Acton issued a director's order requiring all Ohioans to stay in their homes to prevent the further spread of coronavirus. Beginning tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is Monday, March 23rd, 2020, until 11:59 p.m. on April 6, 2020. So this order prohibits gatherings of any size and closes all non-essential businesses. It does not prohibit essential activities like going to the grocery store, receiving medical care, or taking your pet for a walk, or kids playing outside in your yard. Residents can return from out of state, or they can leave the state. There's a lot of great resources on the state's website, like a Q&A, because I know there's a lot of concerns, for example, is the National Guard going to be enforcing it? Because this is something that is enforceable by law. So this isn't something where, you don't have to obey. No, it's by law now. So they can, the governor, with this order, they can enforce it. So I know one of the questions I keep getting asked by residents is, will the Ohio National Guard be enforcing the order? The answer is no. If you've been watching the governor's press conferences, which I would urge you to watch them typically at 2 o'clock or 2:30 every day, that is the best source of information you can get, especially what is going on the ground here in Ohio. So, as you see, I'm getting more updates. So, no, the Ohio National Guard will not be enforcing the order. However, the governor's made very clear it's up to local law enforcement. So, sheriff's departments, police departments, they're the ones going to be enforcing the order. So, I have not gotten any further direction from our mayor or other people what the city's plan is for this, but it is enforceable. So not that they want to arrest people, but they do have the power under law to force someone to comply. So just do the right thing, be at home, and stay safe. All right, we got a question here. Hi, Ken. Hope you're staying safe. Your question is, Most businesses, for whatever reason, are essential. What are non-essential? That's a good question. The state actually lists a whole bunch of what's a non-essential and essential, but for the most part, things that are with medical care, security, but things that would be non-essential, like a tattoo parlor, for example, is non-essential. I'm trying to think of some other good examples, maybe locally. A hair salon is not, essential business. But the criteria they go on, Ken, is Department of Homeland Security's criteria. So it's basically things that are essential in time of emergency. So, but yeah, unfortunately, some businesses, other like for example, automotive businesses are essential. However, I know there's a number in Ward 3 that they've decided, you know what, they're just going to close anyways, just to be safe. But yeah, if you've seen everything the governor has done, Ken, and others, is essentially to shut everything down. But again, this is stuff that we need to get through this. But again, they're going off of the Department of Homeland Security guidelines. Let's see here. Yeah, they break it down into certain categories. Healthcare, public health operations, human service operations, essential infrastructure, essential government functions. But yeah, there's a whole list, and I have it listed online, and also, of course, the state of Ohio's website lists the specific businesses. But good question, Ken. But yeah, they go on very specific criteria, which is it's a very, very long list. The document or the order is 23 pages long, so it's a lot. It's been a lot to digest. But yeah, but I could give some examples. It's easier more what's essential. Again, they're going off the Department of Homeland Security's list, but grocery stores are essential, medicine, food and beverage, agricultural. Let's see, religious. Yeah. So there's. Again, it's a long list of things, but again, it's stuff that's vital for just maintaining basic services and that kind of stuff. So, hope that answers your question. If not, on my Facebook page there is the Q&A from the state of Ohio that can answer. Hi Don, hope you're doing well, staying safe. Again, the order is very long. All right, got another question from Ken here. So if driving to work to get my semi to deliver a product at 4 a.m, say I get pulled over, what's the best? Well, transportation is a different thing. If you're transporting supplies and that's your job, I believe that you're an essential part of the government. There are separate regulations for transportation, so I would say check with your employer first, but that transportation is essential, especially if you're delivering supplies and that kind of stuff. So, and another thing, I guess that's a good point, Ken. Police officers are not going to be pulling people over if they see them on the street. That's what the governor has said. Again, I have not gotten any further guidance here locally what North Royalton's doing, but my understanding, at least what I've heard from the governor, from his press conferences and other things that I have seen, is that they're not going to randomly pull people over or do checkpoints and that kind of stuff. It's more, let's say, they see a massive party going on Wallings Road, and there's a ton of people there. Yeah, then they're going to act. And then if people don't want to listen, then yeah, they could arrest them. But if you're just driving and you're doing your job, if you're delivering, they're not going to pull you over. Unless you're driving recklessly or doing something to break normal laws, then they could still pull you over. But no, if you're just doing your job, you're part of critical infrastructure of transporting supplies, which, thank you, Ken, for, by the way. Oh, you said you're in your car? Well, even then, if you're transporting stuff in your car, let's say you're taking it to a family member, that's still permissible. So if they give you a problem, Ken, say, hey, you're dropping off supplies to a family member or something like that. Again, they shouldn't give you any problems. Hopefully, again, I like to think hopefully folks will be using common sense, but this is a difficult time. But again, any issues, just use common sense. When in doubt, just say you didn't know. But the biggest thing, they need to keep people away from each other because this is starting to spread, it is starting to rise. I have folks and loved ones in all 3 major health systems, so believe me, this is very, very real, and I take it very personally. And last week I actually didn't really sleep all that well. I had maybe two nights of not sleeping, so it's been very difficult. So I'm sympathetic to everyone. So, but again, good question. But I would just say, hey, you're transporting stuff to a family member. This shouldn't give you any problems. But they're not going to pull you over, like I said. So unless you're not obeying the law, which I think you would obey the law, Ken. Good question. So again, I know some people popped on. A reminder: the stay-at-home order goes into effect here in the state of Ohio at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the order goes till April 6, 2020. Again, this prohibits any large gatherings of any size. It closes all non-essential businesses. It does not prohibit essential activities like going to the grocery store, receiving medical care, taking your pet for a walk. Of course, residents can return home from out of state, leave the state. Again, there's a whole Q&A on the state's website, which I like it a lot better than the document that I originally had read. It really makes it very simple for all of us, especially if you're not in government or even just an attorney, because some of the stuff is very legal jargon. Let's see here. Again, a question I know keeps coming up, as I had said, is this mandatory? Yes, it is mandatory. They can enforce it by law. Like, worst case, they couldn't arrest you, but we want to avoid that if all possible. This is just for the good of all of us and as fellow human beings. But if you go on the state's website in the QA, they do answer that question. Is this mandatory or just guidance? No, this order is mandatory, and this is to prevent the spread of the coronavirus in Ohio and protect our friends, family, neighbors, and all of us. So that's why you have to stay home. Brian, hi. Hope you and your family are doing well. Rich, see you too. Hi neighbor. Brian has a question. What is your honest opinion if takeout restaurants should remain open and closed? Risk. Well, the restaurants and just like the groceries, they're essential part of government and just normal life. We need to eat. That's a basic human need is food and shelter and that kind of stuff. So no, the restaurants do play a vital role. Yes, I believe they should remain open, but within reason, as long as they're taking proper safety measures, sanitizing, proper distance, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, they can stay open because we still need food. Because if not, then of course now the governor did address if there's places like, let's say, a bar, they're providing food, but then they're having still people congregate in there, then they will act and they will enforce the order if they're violating it. But if they're just people coming and going, that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with it as long as they are following proper safety measures and doing that. I don't have a problem. We all need to eat. Plus, too, you have to realize how catastrophic this is, not only just from a medical standpoint, but from an economic standpoint, especially here locally here in North Royalton. Let's be honest, we don't have big restaurants. It's all small family-run business, which there's not a problem with that. They're very, very good, very good food. But however, they are so reliant on us to keep them afloat. So, given how bad this has been, those of us that have 401ks, we've seen it go, with the stock market and everything. We have a long time before retirement, but we literally see our retirement, our 401ks go bye-bye. So, no, it's important to, from a financial standpoint, but as long as they're doing it in a safe way, I have no problem with that, and the governor doesn't have a problem with that. If they're not doing the right things, then the governor will take additional action. But again, just common sense, and if you have to wait in line, make sure when you're coming and going, make sure you have proper distance, make sure you sanitize, wash your hands when you get home, basic kind of stuff like that. But yeah, good question, Brian. But please support our local businesses. I create a little hashtag support North Roy businesses. Please do. They're so important, and I can tell you, there's a few of them that don't want to be named. But they have offered to, those of us on city council, if we have any residents that need food, they will give it to them for free. So if you do know anyone that needs some help, let me know. But not only are they, it is helping their business, stay afloat, but they are definitely, many of them are giving back. It's amazing. It really is uplifting. So again, good question, Brian. Sorry to go on a rant, but hey, you got to eat. Not a problem with that. Ken, you got another question? Okay. I know next weekend, the food giveaway at Royal Redeemer, is it still on? That I don't know. I would say call Royal Redeemer to make sure. Call City Hall to double check. It's been pretty fluid. There's been so many different things, so it's hard to keep track. I have not heard anything, but again, if you're getting food, that's essential. So I have not heard, but I would recommend, if she's one of those people that's relying on that, to just call whatever number that's been provided her. But worst case, call City Hall. Kelly, hi. Hope you're doing well. Give my best to the family. Okay, Kelly's question. Sorry I missed this live. Please let me know if anyone needs anything. So Kelly's there here to help. Hey, Kelly, I'll write you down. I'll put you down. Kelly, you came at a good time because I want to talk about something I've launched as of Friday. Now, some of you may not have been on my town hall meeting this past Friday, but I did announce that I am starting a new program to help Northallerton Ward 3 residents at our city council meeting this past Wednesday. And I guess this answers another question some residents have had. Why isn't the city using its reverse 911 system? Good question. I asked that as well. I thought we should use it as well. We have it, but we were told by the fire chief there's not enough people on there, so they don't want to use it. So unfortunately, they're the ones calling the shots. They're in charge. So I have to respect that. I disagree. I think we should utilize all resources, especially the reverse 911, no matter what the number is. I think there's a number of seniors that need help or need to be informed what's going on, like this order that is, saying that we have to stay at home until April 6th. So, however, neither here nor there. Hey, that's their decision. I have to respect that. I'm moving on. But one of the things as a result of that I have started is I've created the Northallerton Ward 3 Neighborhood Buddy Program. And then I have the hashtag NR Ward 3 Buddy. So you may have seen this on Facebook. Started a Facebook page for it too. So this program, I've launched it. You can, I'll provide some more information on Facebook. If you get my email newsletter, you probably have received an update on this too. But the basically, hey, it's what we learned. I learned in the military. We call it the battle buddy system, or those of us when we're younger, you have it's the buddy system. We learned that in elementary school. Well, given how bad this is, and we're not going to be using a reverse 911, I think we really need to make sure we're checking up on our neighbors, but in a safe way. So I want to make something a little bit more organized and orderly, and most importantly, it will help me, because it's hard. Like, I'm going through my list of who I know as homeowner associations, so I already sent out today in U.S. mail probably about 30, 40 different letters to people that I know, different people in the wards, but also some seniors that I know that may need some assistance. So I sent them stuff in the mail because they may not be doing email, they might not be doing Facebook, so, and I don't have their phone number, but I have their address. So I already sent that out today. But just a little bit about the program, and I saw some more questions. So the mission of the Northallerton Ward 3 Neighborhood Buddy Program is to establish a Northallerton Ward 3 buddy system in Northallerton, Ohio, to ensure vulnerable and hard-to-reach community members stay connected to COVID-19 related news, services, food, and help keep a positive morale to get through the COVID-19 emergency safely. So some people might be wondering, how do I get a buddy? Northallerton Ward 3 residents who are elderly, living alone, those that with health conditions, making them high risk to COVID-19, or just residents who want to have an extra neighbor check up on them. I do want an important thing to note. Residents do not have to live in Ward 3 if they want a buddy. No one will be turned away. Anyone that needs help, this is the time where it goes beyond just ward boundaries and that kind of stuff. So if anyone has a problem with that, come see me. But I was raised, hey, someone needs help, we're going to help them out. So if people want to learn more, contact me directly. The easiest way to do that is either email is really the easiest. I get bombarded every day. I still have to work at my day job, luckily, but remotely. I still have kids too with school and that kind of stuff. So email me at ward3@northallerton.org or call me at 440-785-4240. Again, if you're interested in participating, or like most importantly, do you need a buddy, or you maybe have a friend, family member in town that needs one, contact me right away. Again, at ward3@northallerton.org or calling 440-785-4240, and I will get it all set up for them. The important part of how this is all going to work, again, it's a buddy system. The other aspect I'm looking for, and Kelly, I'm glad, and this goes back to Kelly's question. Kelly I'm looking for folks like Kelly and other people here that, all obviously we're stuck at home. We have phones, we have access to the internet like this. So I'm looking for, I call it buddy volunteers. So people that are willing to volunteer, and I will pair you up with a buddy once I have one. And your job is basically you contact them, every day, or at least you determine with your buddy the frequency and kind of the means of communication. I will try to make initial introductions, so that way it's not so awkward. But then from there, your job is just I'll have like a little checklist of different things to ask them. But this is very, very, very easy. And then once you have, you're the volunteer, you check in on your buddy. You just shoot me an email each time you check in, so then I'll check off on my spreadsheet that you've made contact with them, or if there's a specific need. For example, like I have some things that people are already giving me for some food that I can give to some residents I know that need some help the next few days. Or, maybe I don't have the resources, but I can get them connected with the food bank. And I want to give a shout out to the food bank. They are, Norfolk Emergency Community Food Bank is in need of supplies, so please help them out and show them some love. So, so again, how to work, I'll pair you up with a buddy, you're going to check in on them, and some of it could be just morale, it could be stuff that they may actually need some stuff, or maybe just telling them about, hey, there's this order that the governor has issued, just so you know, or hey, if you have access to internet, you want to know what's going on, you can go to CDC's website, go on the city's website, go on the state's website. So that, again, it's have an open line of communication, since the city will not be utilizing its emergency or reverse 911 system. So, thank you, Kelly. Sorry, I'm going to go back here. Okay. Brian had another question. He says, thanks for moving your meetings to a local store in Peekaboo. What an amazing addition. Agreed, Brian. As much as I like McDonald's, and McDonald's is really nice here in Royalton, I like Peekaboo and Bean Ice Cream. They also, the people that own that also own Fire Truck Pizza, company that's in my ward. So yeah, good place. I try to keep it local and support the local. And once we get through this, we will have to do a lot to support each other, because this is catastrophic. I think this is not to get historic here. I think it's worse than 9/11, and I thought 9/11 was horrific, and I lived through 9/11. So, but what makes me proud to be an American is we help each other. And those of us that are here in Royalton, we know we take care of our own. Especially, those of us that graduated Northern High School, I'm a proud bear. But we do take care of our own. And that's something, when I was in the military, I learned, it's amazing what fellow Americans do for each other. And crazy enough, if they necessarily give their lives for each other. Now, we don't want anyone losing their lives, but, sorry, little rant. But yes, try to keep it local. But as I mentioned, good question too, Brian. Although this Saturday I was supposed to have my monthly coffee at Peekaboo and being the ice cream place, due to everything, due to the restrictions, I'm going to do a virtual coffee. So I will be drinking my coffee at home, and hopefully you can be drinking coffee as well, and you can ask questions in the comment box. I'm still trying to sort the teleconference thing. I had an issue today, so I apologize if people are trying to call in. Still trying to sort through some of the technology issues. I'm also looking to try to maybe utilize Zoom, so stay tuned for that. All right, a few more. Good question, Brian. Hope you're doing well. Yep, Kelly, yep, I agree. Yes, agree. Check on our neighbors. And Kelly, if you know any neighbors on your area, obviously you have some elderly residents, let me know. I try to put the word out to some people I know they're on the HOA in your area. So, but if you have any numbers for people, just tell them, hey, Councilman Langshaw is doing this program. And if you know anyone that needs to be checked in, send them my way. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Ken. Absolutely. Oh, Ken, I'll put you down too. All right, cool. I will put you down. Thank you, Ken, for offering to volunteer with the program. And I'll follow up. Those of you that volunteered, I'll follow up with you later with more information. I need to get a little bit more information from you guys. And then, let's see. Oh, yep. I agree, Kelly. Yep, this is really great. And there are many folks that need to benefit from this. And as I said, hey, one of my biggest jobs as a councilman, the mayor's got his thing to do, the fire chief, and I got to respect that. But my job is taking care of people. And I have 5,500 residents that live here in Ward 3 that are counting on me as their leader to do what I can to help them. And regardless of where you live, we have to help each other. There's over 30,000 residents here. We'll get through this together, but we need to work together. And that's where staying at home is part of that. People really noticed last week, or I started stressing staying at home. And that's just listening to smarter people than me down at the State House, but also family members I have in the medical community. They made it very clear that is one of the quickest ways to mitigate this. And if you look at the Spanish flu, or they call it the pandemic of 1918, that was, again, those things of quarantine, isolation. They didn't call it social distancing, but that's something new, a new term now. But again, just staying away from the people that have it. But also just hygiene. Again, there's not a cure or a vaccine, but the biggest thing is just staying away from each other. And some of them may already have gotten it, but it worked its course and okay. But they're really worried about flooding the medical system to the point where there's still people having heart attacks, babies, and that kind of stuff. Then that could kill them. So we need to make sure that we get this under control. And please take this seriously. I'm not playing. I wish this was a joke, but we have to all follow this, please. So, alrighty, Brian. Yes, I'm seeing. Thank you, Brian. Yes, there's at least some of us that are. Yes, I think so, and I'm an optimist. But hopefully, more people will be communicating the various wards, and everyone does things differently, and no fault to them. Everyone's their own person. I respect that, but at least here in Ward 3, people, have set the bar high for me. So, but again, everyone's doing different things, and Brian, your councilwoman, unfortunately, she had a self-quarantine because she was in Disney, but I thought it was a good leadership example. Hey, if you're questionable, you got to do the right thing. So I respect your councilwoman, Brian. Kelly's question, is Drug Mart opening early for seniors as well? I have not heard anything. I encourage anyone that's a senior citizen watching, or that just have them call ahead. There are places starting to do that. Again, that, grocers or different places letting the seniors go in early, so that way they're not around all of us. Because really, you got to think, what we're trying to prevent, and what especially the governor is trying to prevent, Governor Mike DeWine, and others, is we don't want an Italy. If you see what's going on in Italy, no offense to those of us who are Italian, the elderly are dying in droves because of this, and because they didn't take it seriously. They didn't do the social distancing quicker, and other things. And unfortunately, that's costing lives, and it's getting to the point where they're going to have to choose between the 40-year-old and the 80-year-old. They're going to choose a 40-year-old. So we don't even get to that situation. That's where those of us that are healthy and younger, that's why we need to stay away from the elderly, or at least proper social distance, so that we can say grandma and grandpa, or great-grandpa, or great-grandma. So please just, common sense and that kind of stuff. But I encourage any of the businesses, if they're able to, especially our grocery stores, to find ways to get creative, like you mentioned, Kelly. I think that's a good thing. So I don't want to be on her too long, but again, just want to put out there again, the order is going into effect tonight, 11:59 p.m. The stay-at-home order will begin. And then it ends on April 6th. So this, again, prohibits holding any gatherings at any size, closes all non-essential businesses, and it does not prohibit essential activities like going to the grocery store, receiving medical care, or taking your pet for a walk, or even just play in the yard. Residents can return from out of state or leave the state. So please take this very, very seriously. If you have further questions, go on the State of Ohio's website. They have a Q&A that breaks it down. Or if you want to look at the full order, which is 23 pages long, you can do that as well. It's very thorough, very in-depth, and you can tell lots of lawyers drafted this. So, last question. All right, you get the last question. What is the response, pro or con, you getting from state representatives? I have had nothing but positive conversations with our members of the General Assembly. Like, for example, Representative Tom Patton's been phenomenal, but also Senator Dolan as well. All of them have been communicating effectively. Some of their updates, some of the stuff that they provide, they are privy to a lot more information. Or I've had things come up where I've contacted them directly, some things from local businesses, or even things like taxes, for example. Like some accountants have brought up some good points that the state needs to follow what the federal government is, and the General Assembly is meeting, and they're going to try to address some of those issues. So I have to say, at the end of the day, this is something historic, but definitely the representatives that we have and have really stepped up their game, and I am very blessed to know them and that they're representing us in this time. So I'm going to sign off, but I wish everyone to stay well, follow the order. Again, I'll have more information on my Facebook page about the North Royalton Ward 3 Neighborhood Buddy Program. I'm looking for buddies, volunteers, but also people that need a buddy. Again, buddy system. Want to make sure our elderly and those at risk are going to be safe. So I'll sign off, but I will have my coffee later this weekend. If something else comes up, I will pop on. But I thought this is important enough, especially with the governor's order, that everyone please take this seriously and comply. All right, be safe, everybody, and we will get through this, and I'll see you later. Bye.